the lovely introduction, and also for the updated information, because on my PowerPoint presentation, it looks like I have some outdated data for the rankings especially. So thanks for that.
Great. So Nina, it's the floor is yours. So you can share your screen if you have a presentation, and your 6 minutes starts now.
Yes, I am sharing hopefully you can see it.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. And once again, thank you for inviting me for the summit, so I can be the honorary representative for my country and present our ecosystem and what we have accomplished in this past, especially 6 to 7 years, and how far we have come. On the first slide, you can see this is our lovely celebration of the 5-year anniversary that we managed to do with some people part of our community last year. So Startup Macedonia has been established as an umbrella association for the startup ecosystem in North Macedonia in 2016, but the community in a way was born back in 2014 on the 3rd edition of Startup Week in Skopje, where basically majority of the people you see on this picture were part of that edition and are continuing to bring value and building our ecosystem together. These are the rankings that Catherine mentioned, and I don't know how I got outdated data. So we have, in regional ranking in Eastern Europe, Catherine mentioned that we are now number 16. So by the year, or maybe even by months, this ranking is going, we're getting higher on the rankings just because there are so many activities happening in our ecosystem and so many new initiatives that basically we are now recognized as one of the fastest growing startup ecosystem, especially in the Western Balkan region. And I'm really happy about it, especially being a part as a leader of this community.
Sorry, just to clarify, the one I mentioned was about North Macedonia as a country, and then the one you showed is about Skopje. But either way, I think both are showing very great momentum.
We are going up. Thanks for the clarification, Catherine. This is a country guide I did last year by the invitation of Startup Universal, where you can basically get the summary. If somebody's interested here, you can get the summary. We're trying to update it, update this country guide at least once per year. So as you can see that our differentiators as a country, as an ecosystem, are the cost effectiveness, the connected and collaborative community, and the great pool of tech talent. Something that we prepare on a yearly basis is this landscape of the startup and innovation ecosystem. And if you had an opportunity to either visit our country or meet some people from our community, like 5 years ago, you would see this, basically this landscape, not empty, but with very few organizations or people or let's say VC funds that were part of our ecosystem. Here, I will just briefly go through this landscape so people can get more familiar of why we're doing this and how is this supporting our collaborative community. I will guide you through, let's say, in a way, the entrepreneurial journey. So basically, when you have an idea as an entrepreneur, the first thing we advise people is to go and show up to some of the meetups that are regularly organized. Like the Global Entrepreneurship Week, it's done yearly, every year in November. Startup Week in Skopje is done every single year, especially because of the pandemic. The last 2 editions were called Startup Week in Skopje, but they were participants from the whole country attending these hackathons basically online. And then we have the MK Startup Space, where together Startup Macedonia and the Fund for Innovation in 2019 opened up the first entrepreneurial community center in the center of the city, where before the pandemic, in just 3 months, we have managed to organize more than 100 meetups for different types of entrepreneurs in their different types of stages of development. And after that, it's basically after the meetups and you meet like-minded people, you either join a co-working space. I'm really happy to say that we have more co-working spaces in other cities than the capital. In the capital, we still don't have a proper co-working space, but hopefully with the new initiatives that we are preparing through the Fund for Innovations, there will be startup hubs / co-working spaces, not just in Skopje, but in at least 2 different cities by the end of this year. We also have Co-work Ohrid, which is situated in the beautiful lake town city Ohrid, Co-working Bitola, Co-working Gostivar, and the first and only very small but very cute co-office in Skopje. And then after that, we advise entrepreneurs to find out what ongoing or upcoming accelerator or incubator program is a perfect fit for them, so they can apply and get selected and go through a program so they can develop their skills further and test, validate their idea or get to the MVP stage. We have initiatives like the Womenpreneur Stories that is organized. I'm actually one of the people that started this initiative. We organized 5-day bootcamp for first-time female founders. And I'm happy to say that together with partners from all of the countries, all 11 countries in the Balkans, we have managed to last year to support more than 70 female founders in the online edition. And hopefully we will have an in-person bootcamp soon. Then we also have, you probably know, the Social Impact Award. Since last year, we had Accelerate 2030, which is a program that is supporting impact businesses, especially focusing on the SDGs. And then we have organizations like Seed Hub Skopje, Business Impact Lab, SU Tech Park, that is based in the city of Tetovo. And then we have the 3 big accelerators that are supported through the Fund for Innovation, CIVUS Accelerator, Business Accelerator UKIM, and X Factor Accelerator, which is situated in the city of Veles. We also then encourage them to go out and ask for, if they're ready to go out and ask for investment. Usually, most of the startups in our country are applying for the ongoing calls, and the biggest support they're getting is from the Fund for Innovations and Technology Development, which is a state agency. And then we have an angel network, and some startups have received angel money from the Seed Business Angel Club. And the ones that are raising from and are focused on, let's say, B2B and are raising from above 100,000 are directed to go to the South Central Ventures, which is a regional VC fund that also has an office in Skopje. And then even though we weren't recognized in a way as a community and a lot of media didn't know much about startups, now we're getting more and more media on board because we believe it's very important to still talk about startups, raise the awareness, and also get more and more people involved in the startup ecosystem. Through Startup Macedonia and together with the Fund for Innovations, last year we did the startup ecosystem research, and also we published the report, which is a follow-up on the 2018 startup ecosystem report. And here I can showcase some of the information, but in any case, who is more interested to learn more about the findings that we had in the recent report can go to the Startup Macedonia website or the Fund for Innovation website and basically download the whole report, where you can get more and more insights. We talk with a lot of startups. We talk with 28 support organizations and investors. Here you can see the map of startup support organizations. We were using the methodology of Startup Commons. And you can see in what stage of the entrepreneurial journey you can find support as a startup in our community. Also, here is the investor, or let's say the access to finance map. And the best findings are highlighted in this slide is that more and more startups are now generating revenue, unlike 3 years ago where we had more idea stage type of startups. That sales skills are a game changer for us because we have a lot of great talent in the tech sector, but not a lot of salespeople who can actually sell the products that our startups are building. And that's why maybe here I can have a call to action. We, together with the Swiss Entrepreneurship Program, we have a program which is called Entrepreneurs in Residence. So we invite international experienced entrepreneurs to come to North Macedonia and be an entrepreneur in residence for a certain amount of time, and then work with startups from our community and also the supporting organizations. I will share links in the chat, so whoever is watching this and is interested can to apply to become an entrepreneur in residence, not just in North Macedonia, but in all the countries in the Western Balkans we operate. They can apply and possibly come in person and meet our startup community while also working on their business. Healthcare is an emerging industry. This is something that was definitely a result because of the pandemic. So we did the research last year, and we have more and more startups that are operating in the healthcare and health tech industry. And some of the conclusions from this report and the 5 next steps that we need to take to improve and then get even higher on the rankings of Startupblink is that sales are the crucial skill that we are lacking at the moment, that investment readiness is also very low, and we are working on improving this to support our startups. We need more involvement from corporates. Unfortunately, corporates are very agnostic in this department. We see light at the end of the tunnel to say, because there are some that are now approaching us to get more involved with working with startups. The collaboration is getting better and better, and we need to keep it that way. This is what we as individuals, as leaders, as builders have been working on for the last maybe 7 years, to facilitate this relationship of collaboration between not just startups, but also organizations, and not to create this competitive type of ecosystem, because we are a small country with a small ecosystem, and the best way to go forward is through collaboration. And another conclusion is more inclusion, and let's start discussing diversity. We have seen an interesting but an interesting group of people that are foreigners, and now they discovered North Macedonia and want to either start their startup from our country or open up a satellite office and then mingle with the community and get the support from our ecosystem. And for that, with Startup Macedonia, I will also share the link. You can visit the website. We offer soft landing as a service. And then we also prepared a booklet, which is called Launch in North Macedonia, where you can get more info about what are the procedures and the first steps in case you're interested to open up a satellite office or relocate your startup to in our country. And last but not least, we are working for a year now through the Fund for Innovations and the Ministry of Interior to introduce the digital nomad visa. And hopefully by the end of this year, we will have the everything set up so we can start welcoming digital nomads as well in the country. That's it for me. I hope it was 7 minutes like agreed. And I'm open to questions if we have time. If not, this is my email. This is my name and surname where you can reach out and find me on LinkedIn. And I'm happy to talk and to exchange ideas and opportunities for collaboration.
Yes, thank you, Nina. And if you have questions for Nina, her email is on the screen. Thank you, Nina. Yeah, and we will